and organizations have agreed to shift away from the use of coal. Signatories to the agreement in this year's summit have committed to ending all investment in coal power generation domestically and internationally. Cecilia Lubanga tells us more on the adverse effects of coal on the climate.
Fuels like coal, oil and gas, which are driving the climate crisis. Major coal users in the world are committing to shifting away from the fossil fuel. 190 nations and organizations have pledged to do so at the COP26 Climate Summit, according to the UK government. Coal is known to be the single biggest contributor to anthropogenic climate. CO2 emissions, primarily from combustion of fossil fuels, have risen dramatically since the start of Industrial Revolution. The burning of coal is responsible for 46% of carbon dioxide emissions worldwide, almost half of the air percentage. It accounts for 72% of total greenhouse gas emissions from the electricity sector. Coal has been the fastest growing primary energy source in the world in the year between 2001 and 2010. World consumption of coal increased by 45%. During the same period, total anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions were the highest in human history. Top 3 greenhouse gas emitters as by 2015, according to a report on End Coal, were China, the European Union and the US, contributing to 41.5% of total global emission. In Kenya, the proposed Lamu coal plant prompted controversy between investors and climate change activists, since it was considered as an environment threat and an outdated means of generating energy in a country that has already embraced modern and environment-friendly ways. Signatories to the agreement in this year's summit have committed to ending all investment in new coal power generation domestically and internationally. They have as well agreed to phase out coal power in the 2030s for major countries and the 2040s for poorer nations. Poland, Vietnam and Chile are among the 18 countries that have agreed to phase out or not build or invest in new coal power for the first time, according to UK. The 200 countries attending the conference are expected to give their plan on cutting emissions by 2030. In 2015 summit, countries agreed to keep global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius. The decision made at COP26 summit could change the future, with key matters up for the discussion. However, some of the world's biggest coal-dependent countries such as India, Australia, China and the US have not signed up to the pledge. Will the world be able to successfully fight climate change without significant change from top 10 emitters? Let's have a take from an environmentalist.
On the issue of coal, I think it's a very sensitive issue, and it's being one of the fossil fuels that is more pollutant to our environment. I think countries coming together and dropping the idea of having coal is showing that we are having a good trajectory towards having a more sustainable environment. The giant consumers and producers of coal, such as Australia, China, India, and USA, are still not on board on that particular issue. You find that the countries who are not using coal or actually signing up to not start up new coal power plants are the ones which are suffering the most. More pressure can be applied to these nations so that come a decade later, we can all be on the same page of abandoning this treacherous fossil fuel. It is a global issue, and so it needs a global approach. So unless we have policies and treaties that aligned towards the same, I think some countries will still be looking towards exploring fossil fuels. Looking at this from a financial point of view, where other countries are investing, not in their countries to have coal, but financing other countries to have coal power plants. Having such policies that can be able to neutralize such ideas and such moves, I think we will be able to see a greener environment and greener energy production.
Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV, Nairobi.